Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. It's 1:30 on Thursday, and a lot of people have been asking me to comment on a lot of things that's going on. We had a radio show yesterday, and I was asked to continue the topic that was dealt with the night before that was rudely interrupted on social media, but I couldn't find the time to address it. And then today, you see, the issue of the media is not letting go, that they keep digging in and making the point. Now, I want to show you something. This is a complete absence of bias, but I want you to tell me, you have a minister in the Ministry of the Attorney General, Fitzgerald Hines, who is a lawyer and was a police officer. Now, he's been a member of Parliament before, he's been a member of the Senate before. So I want to ask some questions. Is it possible that this man is just a jackass? I want to show you how. Who do you blame? Between Hines, when you're finished with this video, you decide. I'm willing for me to be the jackass, because I have to be a jackass for trying to expect Newsday, Fitzgerald Hines, and Trinidad and Tobago's media to make sense. So let's not be angry. Let's just be scientists today. Let's look at it from a scientific point of view. I want to get some definitions though, so that we could be specific. We need to be specific. Right? Now, I want you to hear this. On social media, I am not making this up. I've actually shared it to my wall. You could go and see. And it's in the Newsday today. So, it's not me doing this. It's Fitzgerald Hines. It's the Strategic Services Agency. It's Newsday. And it's the media. An article that was written by Sean Douglas. This is the journalist, Sean Douglas. The newspaper is Newsday. The person they're quoting is Fitzgerald Hines. And he reveals some information before a parliamentary joint select committee. I want you to hear all the different people that should have been able to pick up on something as simple as this. As simple as this. You see, the reason Trinidad and Tobago is a cesspool is we have numbskulls running the country, in the Parliament, in the Joint Select Committee, in the SSA, Fitzgerald Hines, the media, Newsday. All of these people together should have benefited from at least primary school. I want to assume all of them passed Common Entrance SEA. Hear this. This is on social media. This is in the Newsday now. Judy Raymond is aware of this right now. Right now. This is in the Newsday. I want you to hear this. 8,154 illegal firearms are circulating in Trinidad and Tobago according to estimates by the SSA. I'll read it again. But I want you to know that an estimation is a rough calculation of the value, number, quantity, or extent of something. An estimation is a rough calculation of the value, number, quantity, or extent of something. How did the SSA arrive at such a specific number as 8,154 as an estimate? That's not rough. Between 8,000 and 8,200 is rough. Between 8,150, 8,160, rough. How do you estimate a specific number? The SSA is a highly paid organization. They stand for the Strategic Services Agency. They are supposed to have at least done common entrance. This primary school, this is standard 4, standard 5. In the Newsday, the editor-in-chief let pass an approximation with a specific number, as oxymoron as something could be. Because you've given me a specific number as a rough estimation. You understanding what I'm trying to tell you? I want you to see all the people in the food chain. Trinidadians want to know why Philip does get vexed with these people. Why Philip just take them to task like that? You see, Fitzgerald Hines getting about $60,000 a month, plus perks. He could pull up and drive a Beamer and a Benz and get 50% off because you're a parliamentarian. And you would expect of our parliamentarians basic knowledge, like what an estimation means. So when the editor-in-chief of the Newsday accepts from Sean Douglas, a journalist who accepted in the parliament what the parliament accepted from Fitzgerald Hines, who came having accepted it from the SSA, that an estimation of 8,154 specific guns are in circulation, and not one of those people said, hey, can't be both ways. Can't be an estimation and be specific. Let me tell you where I come in at this. This is not even the problem, you know. This is not even the problem. 2 years ago, Keith Christopher Mugabe Sabgarowli told this nation that there were 30,000 illegal guns in circulation. 30,000. Between then and now, Gary Griffith has been made Commissioner of Police 5 months. Between then and now, Stephen Williams continued his serial acting career. Between then and now, I checked to see how many guns were picked up by the police. According to the media, my estimation is 150. 150. Between 150 and 200 guns were picked up, as far as I could tell. How did we drop, Keith Rowley? Because you told the parliament 30,000 guns. Now Fitzgerald Hines is telling the same parliament 8,154 guns. What happened to the other guns? Which one do we trust? Who do we believe? Who were you quoting, Keith Rowley? Who were you quoting? Fitzgerald Hines says he's quoting the SSA. The SSA estimates a specific number, 8,154 illegal guns. That is as specific as you could get without actually naming and serial numbering the guns. And I want to know on what science was this estimation done? Is it on point of entry? Is it point of entry? Have we assumed that our failed nation allowed between 8,154 and 30,000 guns into the country? Is it free movement through society because of a corrupt police service that's allowed 8,154 guns, free movement in the country that we're aware of, but we can't touch? Because they have rights, like Berkey Burke and Buffy Maynard and Abu Bakr have rights to come and talk their bullshit on the media and impress others that, hey, so I could be a doctor, a lawyer, a mason, a carpenter, or whatever one of them is, because them look like them living well. And look, they're going to talk to Hema. Hear the article. Some 8,154 illegal firearms are circulating in Trinidad and Tobago, according to the estimates by the Strategic Services Agency, revealed Fitzgerald Hines yesterday as he chaired Parliament's Joint Select Committee, it gets worse, on national security. He is chairing this. He is chairing a committee and he doesn't understand the definition of the word estimation. JSC member Nigel De Freitas noted the police seizure of 1,054 firearms and 18,000 bullets in 2017 and slightly fewer of each item in 2018. None of that make the media yet. Saying people were daily witnessing a prevalence of illegal firearms in TT, he said these were not coming in by pirogue at night on some isolated beach, but rather entering through this country's legitimate ports. So we just threw one arm of national security under the bus. That's customs and excise. Customs is now failing because according to national security, our customs officers are failing at their jobs. According to that guy, Nigel De Freitas, is that through the legitimate ports, what they're saying is AR-15 and AK-47 not coming by pirogue, even though the nation porous. Even though you could drive into Trinidad and offload 15 people on a beach, that if we didn't have a video, them still walking somewhere in town. Even though you could drive up on any beach and offload donkey, cow, and mule in Trinidad, AR-15 and AK-47 not getting exchange for corned beef and toilet paper because the parliament says so. But it's the same parliament that doesn't understand the definition and the meaning of the word estimation. What we should be hearing today is we need to wrap this up. We know it's coming in and we need to find it. Acting ACP Jason Ford said, on average, we recover about 1,000 firearms a year. This year, so far, we have already recovered 124. The fight continues. We have been recovering firearms despite the challenges. He lamented that because people plead not guilty to firearm possession in court, the police are unable to find out where guns are coming in to TNT. I didn't make that up. Our justice system, our law enforcement collapses in the face of a not guilty plea. I didn't do it. Shaggy, it wasn't me. All you have to say is, it wasn't me. And they can't ask you another question. That we are incapable of investigating. It wasn't me. That's not my guns. Or you caught me with the guns, but I can't tell you no more because it wasn't me. This is a country that let people who smuggle 19 Venezuelan girls, underage girls, into this country to be used as sex pawns in a business that is still operational, in a house owned by a Syrian in Westmoreland that still have a lease. And those people were released from jail because we couldn't find a translator and an interpreter. That is this country, you know. That's this Trinidad and Tobago. I want to say that again. ACP Jason Ford said, because people plead not guilty to firearm possession in court, the police are unable to find where guns are coming into TT. I wish I had read this before I had started this live video because that statement, I mean, Newsday, Judy Raymond, Sean Douglas, all of y'all, I mean, somebody should ask a question. So once somebody pleads not guilty, that's it for the case. Steve, $1 billion, Piaco, not guilty, Your Honor. Let them go. These Chinese people here, they imported these little Venezuelan girls. Your Honor, we can't tell, but I'm assuming that they say not, well, let them go, not guilty. He lamented that because people plead not guilty to firearm possession in court, the police are unable to find out where the guns are coming into TT. It is so hard to stomach. In reply to member Paul Richards' query about 1,064 firearms being seized in 1 year compared to the 8,154 estimate of those now in circulation, Ford said the former was a huge amount, but was not cause for celebration when compared to the 8,154 figure. Richards said that if TT had 2,000 gangs, each averaging 20 members, giving a total of 40,000 gangsters, then 8,154 guns might be an underestimate. Or they're sharing. Because I like how our parliament working, you know. This is a joint select committee and everybody's spitballing, throwing it against the wall to see if it sticks. Because nobody has facts. We are in front of the highest court in the land. We are in front of the parliament. It's a joint select committee. It's chaired by a jackass, so let the circus reign. because nobody has any information to bring to the parliament that is fact. What was the point of the circus? What was the point of it? Nobody knows anything. You have Paul Richards, former talk show host, estimating if Trinidad and Tobago had 2,000 gangs. Where did he get that number from? Where did Paul Richards get 2,000 gangs as a number? Where? Where did Paul Richards get 20 members per gang? Is there a point that you have to have 20 members to be considered a gang, and if you have 19 members, you're still just a lime? Where? To reach at an estimation of 40,000 gangsters, where did that come from? And again, I'm still trying to find out where the estimated specific number of 8,154 guns that they said so far 5 times that I am aware of, where that came from. 4 deny they're saying every gang member may not possess an individual firearm. The figure might be difficult to accurately have, yet we have a number like 8,154. But not everybody in a gang supposed to have a firearm. Somebody could come with a slingshot. Somebody's job is to hold the phones. Somebody could bring skateboards. Somebody could bring a cake. You don't know. It depends on the day and how you're feeling. The gang is not specific. That's what Ford is trying to say. Not every gang member should be armed. Some have different roles. Once you hit your 20 people number and you qualify as a gang, you can have each one of them do something different. Some could do face painting. You could never tell. The skill sets, you don't know. Saying some 169 guns are used in most crimes. Richards could not marry this figure to the existence of 2,000 gangs, saying the numbers don't seem to add up. I tend to agree. And I'm saying that I'm agreeing because I don't understand where the numbers are coming from. There's a new number here. 169 guns are used in most crimes. What does that mean? What does that mean? Is there 169 guns available to commit crime? And you pull up and say, I looking to go and put on a robbery. Sorry, 170 people here already. You gotta come back tomorrow and come early. Because robbery popular this round. Where did this 169? Again, I want to tell you, and I'm laughing and I'm joking, and I want you to laugh and I want you to joke because your parliament is a circus. All that is missing is the big top and people flying overhead in trapeze while parliament's sitting. Because this is the Joint Select Committee chaired by a former police officer, a member of parliament, and a minister in the Ministry of the Attorney General. And everything is approximate estimations of fact that just carried in the newspaper like it's normal. And hey, this is Trinidad and Tobago, so laugh at it. Saying some 169 guns, I mean, so much of this is funny. I don't know what is funnier so far. Where the police officer, ACP Jason Ford, said, once people plead not guilty, police stopped. Police can't do nothing. They plead not guilty, so we can't find out where the gun's coming from. But Richard said, but Ford denied this, saying some 169 guns are used in most crimes. Oh, that is such an exact figure. It almost sounds like they're numbered. That you know where they are. That there's a place that you go and sign out a gun to do a job. So Richards could not marry this figure to the existence of 2,000 gangs, saying the numbers don't seem to add up because Paul Richards still believes that everybody in the gang have to have a gun. Otherwise, Ford said in recent years, the police had met more assault-type weapons than in the past. Asked by Hines if these were weapons of war, that is military weapons, Ford admitted they are using a higher grade of ammunition. The committee at length probed the Customs and Excise Division and the Port Authority on their lack of resources to monitor ports against the entry of illegal guns. At the questioning of Hines, Customs Assistant Controller Keith Huggins said, a container scan takes 5 to 10 minutes fixed scanner or 10 to 15 minutes mobile scanner. But in fact, the whole process of matching up the detected images to the importer's declaration actually takes 1 hour and 15 minutes. Again, that's a specific number. Macaroni, car parts, washers and dryers, tires, juice, empty bottles, full bottles. It doesn't matter. Could be Christmas toys, dresses, shoes, and pants. 1 hour and 50 minutes to match up the scan. And I want you to see, and I really want to make fun of, what passes in this country for Parliament, Joint Select Committee, Journalism, and Media in one article. Hinds said nothing much had been done since 2017 to implement the JSC's previous recommendation for securing the port of Port of Spain, including a failure to build a car ramp under which staff could inspect for contraband items. He also lamented a lack of proper CCTV coverage. Now, it really jokey that the editor-in-chief of Newsday let this bullshit be printed that Sean Douglas wrote that he accepted from Fitzgerald Hinds and this circus troupe in the Parliament as a joint select committee, and this is what we came away from it with as journalism. So there is a headline: 8,154 illegal guns in Trinidad and Tobago. But nobody in this article explained how that comes to be. Now I want to tell you something. A Progressive Empowerment Party government says unstuff all containers on the port. In other words, those 20-foot and 40-foot containers that you see on the road, no more. Or you must own your own 40-foot container or your own 20-foot container attached to your own rig and come to the port and empty the entire shipment from the container that you imported into a truck, into a sealed truck, into another container that you own, so that while they are being moved, customs and excise are taking a look-see. But the manifest said chocolate-covered bonbons. But this looks like an AK-47. So I don't know. Maybe law enforcement may want to take a look at this. Because this is certainly not a chocolate-covered bonbon. It's a weapon of war. And if we unstuff the containers, Gregory Aboud of the Downtown Owner and Merchants Association said it will slow things down on the port. And yes, we need to slow down the importation of cocaine, heroin, marijuana, and weapons of war. So yes, because a container takes 15 minutes to scan and 1 hour and 15 minutes to reconcile what you scanned long after the container gone. Charlie, look at this picture here. That looking like chocolate-covered bonbons to you, but that container gone. It gone to a car company in El Socorro. That by the time you say, hell no, that's not bonbons, that's a gun. Send the police. Police reach. Container empty. Oh, sorry, officer. They let us go and we unpacked it. I didn't see anything that looked like a gun. All we get was chocolate-covered bonbons. And I am making a ridiculous joke of what passes for the management and operation of this country. I don't want to hear about hidden compartments in containers. The container staying on the port. There should be two places. One that you could never access it with a vehicle and leave. You could never access it with a bag and leave without it being checked. You could never. The United States of America sent us scanners. We didn't put the scanners to work because Watson Duke said it will negatively affect the testicles of port workers. We didn't want sterile port workers. So we didn't put up the scanners. So we end up with 8,154 guns in the country. We whining low. Savannah grass in we ass. No problem. Bread and circuses rotted for we. But last night, Michelle de Goville Rojas and her husband and their child had to spend hours in the St. James Infirmary trying to get medical attention that they never got in an empty place. Because the doctors and the nurses, them in the Savannah grass too. You see, bread and circuses is the ruination of this country, and those who are billing the country in the hundreds of millions of dollars now for nothing are laughing all the way to the bank. Why? Because people are actually trying to wake up people who are so married to the malaise of their condition that they will argue this point. They will argue in defense of their chains and their shackles. They will tell you the purpose they serve and justify it. Because you have in one media article, and again, if my entire legacy is to bring critical thinking to Trinidad and Tobago, somebody should say, Judy, this article here is not making sense. Sean Douglas wrote a crocus bag of ass. Judy should say, what? Get me Sean Douglas. Sean, this article apparently is a crocus bag of ass. Nothing makes sense. Judy, with all excuses aside, this is what Fitzgerald Hines and the Parliament gave us to work with. You see, Judy Raymond, as editor-in-chief of the Newsday, has some power. And she could have written an article that says, Joint Select Committee on Crime is a circus. None of the numbers are facts. None of the facts can be relied on. All of the estimations make no sense. And we've come away from it less informed than we went in. That nobody knows, based on that information, how many gangs we have, how many members the gangs have, how many guns there are in the country, how they come into the country. All we know is, it wasn't me. If you're in the court and you say, Your Honor, not guilty, police can ask you another question. And if guns come in through the port and national security can't explain for it, then you could blame customs and excise, and customs and excise could blame the people who were supposed to put up the ramp and the cameras. In this Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of do what the hell you like, land. We'll keep talking. We'll keep raising the issues. You could keep pretending that, hey, as long as it's not me. I remember when Daniel Tade Hines' husband, Trinidad's MMA fighting champion, had to dive below a car and hold his head as gunplay was happening all around the car. People trying to kill one another, and he just stopped to buy ice. And he say, he's Trinidad's mixed martial arts fighting champion. Closest thing we have to a superhero. Drop, tuck, roll, and cover, and pray to all the gods that he make it out of their life. We, the people, all of us, be we black, Indian, Syrian, Chinese, white, Carib, Ariwa, Arawak, whatever we are all exposed to the dangers of this badly mismanaged country. We are all exposed to the madness on the roads. We are all exposed to criminality and crime. You don't know when your number gonna come up. You don't know when they're gonna say, that house. I see when them just come and when them just go. I know when she just come home from work. I know when they just pick up the child from school. That house. Them have money. And we go day. You don't know when your number coming up in this lotto. of life in Trinidad and Tobago. You don't know when 10 o'clock in the night one of your children will fall sick. You have to grab them and jump in the car and reach outside, you get robbed. They take the car and go on. You're there with your sick child. No, that didn't happen. You reach outside, they rob you, they take the car, they go on, you call the ambulance, never come, your child dead. No, that didn't happen. You reach outside, you jump in the car, you open the gate, you drive out the road, you drive down to the corner of the street, a truck breaking the traffic light by KFC in Sierra Leone that just killed that woman mother the other day. Break the traffic light, kill you, kill husband, kill child. No, that didn't happen. You reach the hospital, you, husband, child, reach the hospital, the place empty, with the doctors and the lawyers in the savannah grass. The doctors and the nurses in the savannah grass. We, all of we, exposed. Last night where I lived, there was a wake for a woman who was driving across a traffic light. And a vehicle that was breaking the traffic light killed her. Prior to that, she was alive. All of us in this country, and I keep saying it again, all of us are at risk every minute of every day because of this terribly mismanaged country. We get caught up in the thick of thin things. We talk a crocus bag of nonsense about foolishness. We are easily distracted. I watch The Nation. Fight up Machel, fight up Iowa, fight up Machel, fight up Hindu. I give Machel the props. Bitch know how to make money selling shit. When Machel could no longer hoor, he should package shit, and I am sure he will still get some of y'all to buy it as sugar. But that is another conversation. I watch us get caught up in the absolute nonsense. You mean to tell me in a nation this failing, we couldn't put aside Carnival one time? The police service told the woman that the cameras in the vicinity of the traffic lights are not working. So her mother dead and nobody will know. Superfarm cameras don't see into the road. KFC can't find their tapes. So your mother dead in an accident by Sierra Leone and Crystal Stream. And you have nobody to turn to. Buy your flowers. All of us who defending shit in this country. You see, I want to tell you all that when you message me, because you run out of people to be able to call, when you find out that them don't take me on, them don't take me on, them don't take me on, them not taking me on, and if I call him to report him, he's saying die now he walk, that they have nobody, I go send Philip to light up the ass. When all you call me, I just watch and I say, Let me scroll back to all the times that you were present, for all the things that we were standing up for all the other people. Because I want to tell you something. I ain't no hitman for hire. I's not a light up specialist. If you want lighting up, go by Tanyuk. We're dealing with issues here, and you are responsible by your silence and your apathy. I want you to understand this story that was written in the Newsday today, that was passed by Judy Raymond, that Matt wants to defend. That was written by Sean Douglas, a journalist. This article, not worthy of the fish that you should be wrapping with it. That the parliament failed you, and you've paid them hundreds of millions of dollars to get together, call each other big titles, ask each other bullshit, accept bullshit and package it and pass it on, and then let's all go to the savannah for some savannah grass. And I'm really upset because all day, every day, my whole phone, my Facebook, everything is filled. Boss, the landlord raised the rent, you know, boss. The landlord raised the rent. I can't afford to live here, and I don't know where else to go. And I just lost the work, and I'm trying to catch myself. And I'm baking banana bread to sell in the junction. I can't make it, you know. I think I'm going to buy some Gramazone, but I don't have money for the Gramazone. You could sponsor me a bottle. Whole day, I get your misery. And my only answer to you is this. Lace up whatever left of your shoes and show up, because I here fighting for you, waiting for you to fight for yourself. Lace up your shoes and show up. When there are enough of us together, when we are enough in number that we realize that black, white, red, green, and every shade in between suffering the same sufferation in this madly mismanaged country, then we will get focused on the real issues. Kirkwaite take Gary to task on his camouflage. Gary answered, Express carry both stories, and I said today, put the doctors and nurses in camouflage if public health will work. Put the teachers in camouflage and the Minister of Education if we could get proper education for all the children. Put the Minister of Finance and the Central Bank Governor in camouflage if it will regulate the banks and stop the raping of the people. I have no time for bullshit, and you shouldn't either. You should see the destruction from a mile away. I have nothing to do with Carnival. I have nothing to do with Carnival for years now. I have partners my age who six-pack bubbling, going out to interfere with girls and like themselves, and if Trinidad fall, them looking for a way out. I at least trying to fix my country. I hope that at some point you realize that our choices are quickly being reduced to sink with it, deal with it, or leave. The Progressive Empowerment Party keeps calling on everybody to wake up to the issues that are the real issues in this country and forget the bullshit. You have a choice. You have real champions. You have people that are willing to speak truth to power on your behalf. It is time for you to stand up and join with us and to add your voice and to add yourself in numbers, because our reality is that our country is sinking fast. You want a better Trinidad and Tobago, you have to be prepared to fight for it. On another note, this Saturday we have the Pep Market in Lions Civic Center. All of those of you who wanted to meet me under more casual circumstances, come this Saturday. We're at Lions Civic Center from 10 till 6. There's going to be good food, good drinks, good security, good parking, good entertainment, things for the children to do. You have no excuses. Even if you're coming from the furthest point, you could get on a boat, you could get on a plane, you could get in a car, jump on an ox cart. Find yourself to Lions Civic Center Saturday morning. Be there from 10 till 6 p.m. There's lunch, there's tea, there's dinner. Come and be a part of all that we're doing. We're trying to raise funds to keep this working. If you want a better Trinidad and Tobago, don't sit down where you are hoping that we will take care of it alone. We need you. Come and join us this Saturday. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.